All right. How are we doing today? I have not been doing the usual stuff lately when I've been making my content, and this is actually unusual for me because I'm recording and I am not live. I'm also not showing myself. I'm doing a new thing, and I've been trying a few new things because I've been really taking a step back. Especially, it's been kind of eye opening for me to see how much podcasts and live streams or in general are growing um, in a professional way. A lot of people using Zoom meeting at work and stuff like that. Just the whole working from home remotely. I think it kind of piggybacks off of a lot of what I've been doing with my live stream here. Actually, my mouse. Oh, now my mouse is showing. Um, but I want to show a little bit about some of the YouTube channels that I'm interested in. Because when I think of the value added, like, why do you want to listen to me? Like, what are my cited sources, I guess? And it's not even cited sources as much as like you got to take everything I listen to and obviously believe it all is true. I don't know that it's all true. I know that I'm constantly just battling with it. That's why, on Twitter, a lot of times I like to just tweet what's in my head. I don't know it's true, but that's why I leave it up there so that people can be like, "Hey, idiot! Didn't you know like 2 years ago we handled this?" So that's why I figured I'm gonna go over a few channels that I listen to, so that if you want to follow it too, and then we have mutual discussions, or at least you just know where I'm getting my information from. So, without further ado, I want to start with the first one. Is a guy by the name of Nick DiPaolo, and as you can see, if we look at the dates, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 5 days ago, 6 days ago, he is a workhorse right now. He's someone that I've been following for over a year now. As you can see, like this is him. He's been doing stand up for a long time. There's some older clips of his here. He's been at the game for a while, but it's only recently where he started doing this show setup. And I'll go to his full video list here. And he's doing like a new setup as if he's pretty much not to say I don't think he's ever said Jon Stewart, but he's doing a very Jon Stewart approach, and his thumbnails are solid. He's been regular. I mean, really doing a good job. So shout out to Nick DiPaolo. He is a anti PC, pro Trump, pro. He's a genuine conservative comedian. I don't think there's been a lot of conservative comedians out there getting enough recognition, especially him. So if you have any other conservative comedians that you'd recommend, that Nick DiPaolo's a chum, let me know. But he to me seems like the best guy in the game now, especially if you want to. He's only got 112 subscribers here, so as you can see, I am subscribed, even though it's like kind of at the edge of the screen. I cropped it so that it's like a better zoom for you. You can read a little better. You people with those glasses and whatnot. So that's Nick DiPaolo, and actually, I'll bring me to another membership. See, it's letting me know I can join. Paul Joseph Watson, and if I click that, what does it take me? Okay, $4.99 a month, and it lets me know I can loyalty badges next time your name comments in the live chat. So okay, this is like something I've been looking towards, moving towards myself. Obviously I'm a long ways away, but to be able to charge people to be able to say something in the chat, or at least like this, apparently all it does for him is it shows that you're paying. So at least when people see your opinion, they know that you're invested in the channel, which is cool. It's I don't have the money to be able to do that, but obviously people like to tip. They like to say, "Hey, you're cool. I like what you're doing. Here's a little more money to help you get there." So, these are his videos. He's been at it for quite a while. He used to, I don't even know the relationship entirely, but he used to be featured on InfoWars. He was, I think he was working directly under, almost like an apprentice to Alex Jones, but now he's completely on his own. And honestly, some of the best content on the internet, in my mind, of YouTube. It's not even like most of what he does is opinion anyway, and it's a very similar opinion to how I feel. He doesn't really get into a lot of. It's more he takes what the news does and makes fun of it. He takes a lot of what PewDiePie does, but a lot more political is probably the best way to put it. And he's actually got a decent following of 2 million people, so he's a bigger fish that I follow. After Skool, another sub 1 million, but their content is quite good. I think I follow the guy on Instagram. He's a lot more personal about like he'll watch like a lot of clips that I like having watched from before. And what he does is he's a very good animator, and he animates like Elon Musk, Alan Watts, Steve Jobs, Jordan Peterson, just a lot of good stuff, and he really makes it more the visual application on his eye, what you see on the eyes while you're listening to something that's already good is really cool. It takes a lot of old clips that were only audio, and then he provides the video. So like while you're listening, you're also watching, and just it keeps me more engaged. So really good content. Well, and that's the thing is all the videos or all the channels in this video are people that when they release, I'm pretty much watching it as soon as I can. Like these are the people I'm subscribed to that when they release a video, I'm watching it regardless to see if it's good or bad. Because that's to say, because I subscribe to someone doesn't mean I like everything they do, agree with everything or do, or think everything they do is good. So that's a good segue into Slightly Offensive because this is a newer one. This guy is on Blaze TV, and I'm not a big fan of the big networks, much less Blaze. I don't want to get into it, but I'm not a big fan of Blaze. I think they are trying, and Slightly Offensive is definitely helps. I haven't watched every episode here, but this guy, he's very entertaining. I forget his name. Whoever the guy behind Slightly Offensive is, but he goes out on the street. He lives in LA. He walks the walk. He's kind of like a Fleckus kind of guy. But he's been good. He's someone that I've been paying to lately. He's been making a lot of content, and it's been pretty good. So with that being said, very similar to the same vein of Paul Joseph Watson, a little more right wing, a little more family oriented in the method, but he's not afraid of getting into liberal tactics, being fighting a little more in the mud, which people would argue is a conservative tactic if you're liberal, but that's the clown world of it, isn't it? So this is another one that is more personal to me. Now, Actman is a guy I've been following since before he hit 100,000 subs. So he's been doing very well over the last few years. Actually, if I went back, I could probably go to his uploads and see, like, if I scroll down real fast, he's been making, oh yeah, that's the thing is I can show you, this guy's been making content like a madman. And so I remember the first, I watched his Crab Got video. I remember seeing that because I was a League of Legends fan. That was like the first one he has available now. But I'm trying to think which the first video I watched of his. He did a bunch of Halo stuff for a while. I wasn't big on Halo, but then he finally did. This is like right around where he started kind of seeing his own potential, which is so cool to watch for me. Is like, even if you don't like the Act Man, I hope I'm taking you on a little trip right now of a guy who he went from working a day job. He's done the dream that I have for myself. He was working a day job. I forget what he had, but he just channeled it into, and you can see he just channeled into Halo for like the first year. It looks like almost all Halo talk. And then he gets into Battlefront. He starts, obviously these views. Okay, so this one had 1 million. That's probably his first big right here. Is Halo Combat Evolved a masterpiece? And I could get into that video and show why his content's so good. But as you can see, now he starts getting spikes. He goes, the war against video games is probably his best because he kind of took a stand. He said this is what gamers think, and he was right. And that's the beauty of this platform is that, like, when you say something that people resonate with, a like and a share, enough of those gets to the producers of some of these games. And the Axeman now, obviously this is 3 years ago now, when he has a review, I mean, see his most recent. I loved his Doom Eternal review. He's already at 500,000. That was less than a week ago. The decline of gaming. I thought you got 2 million views 3 months ago. So he's not. He has really long videos. They're like half hour. So he's plenty of time for ad revenue. I know he's making a good bit of money, but his model is different. So I feel like I've talked about the guy enough. But he makes good hot takes on games. But he also analyzes the industry, and I think that's another important thing is like there's some people reviewers, but he also takes the next step at like reflection. He's like, okay, so how does this game being good and this game being bad mean for the market, especially when they're under the same production team? That's another thing I think people don't really consider too often is like which studio is working on what. EA obviously getting a lot of flack. So that's the gamer side. Now, comedian Mark Normand is pretty much the whole reason I'm looking to hopefully get into stand-up comedy. I say hopefully because I was thinking last month I wanted to make my first open mic and just kind of break the ice there, pop my cherry. But coronavirus has really put a damper on that. So just trying to keep my spirits up and writing some jokes and trying to make my roommate laugh. So Here we go. He is a funny guy. The main thing I want to show here is you have a pretty big name comedian, very little YouTube presence. But the funny thing is, he just recently, like 2 weeks ago, because he had Heckler Twist like a month ago. This is just like, you can watch the evolution. These are just a few clips he posted because whatever, 9 years ago. 9 years ago. And then within the last 2 weeks, he's released 3 videos that are all dedicated to the coronavirus. And it's really interesting because I think he's actually nailing the way comedians in general should be responding to the virus, this quarantine, everything. This one I think his girlfriend made with him was just a quick 16-second skit, but then he did a 4-minute working on. He did Corona comedy on the street, and now apparently this is like a trailer for a show he wants to do, which is awesome. He's like taking this opportunity to like set up a show. I mean, I don't know. He's just being very useful with his time. I think he's very funny. I'll leave it at that. If you don't think he's funny, whatever. I think the guy's the next Carlin. So tell me if you think I'm right. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Alternate History Hub. This is someone that I used to kind of keep on the fringes, but only recently have I been pouring through some of his content. Definitely one of the people. I haven't seen this one yet, the What If Trump Was Never Elected, but this is a guy who knows his history pretty well, and exclusively on this channel. I think he has another channel, but he gets into all these scenarios that are really interesting of like why, and like here's Tyrion Westeros, that's Game of Thrones, right? So he'll do stuff that's like Thanos, just very good video creator. Just his editing, everything, the way he does everything is just really well done. Like I said, I've been kind of following him on the fringes for a while, but only recently have I started going back and just clicking on the ones that I'm interested in. Yeah, it's definitely a good. Just speaks for itself. Found it today. Find it today. Apparently, I don't know if he wrote that book, but the guy does a good job. So I recommend helping or subscribing him, helping him along. Apparently, he has a podcast. Whatever. I'll have to check on that when I'm not recording myself. RobotHead is my last one I want to share. This is just another person that I followed for quite a while. He's still only at 220K subs, but he's a good person to add because he has a separate channel too. This is I could have swore he had more videos, but just a good model for me, someone I've been looking at. And I watch most of the videos, a lot of Star Wars, a lot of movie review stuff, but just someone I'd recommend looking into. A lot of good takes, a lot of good editing, and that's pretty much it for the channels that I've been watching religiously. So with that said, I want to say please like, subscribe to my channel, comment, let me know. Main thing is it's like I'm only gonna keep putting back into this if I keep getting something back. I don't know to keep working on it unless I know someone's listening. So I think this is probably a good step with which to tell people what I'm doing with it. These are the people I model my show after. And I'm still not quite sure what direction I'm going to take it. Is it going to be comedy? Is it going to be gaming? Is it going to be social, political? So I figured I'd share a little bit of all the things that wet my whistle when it comes to YouTube. So let me know if there's something that you'd like to see more of, something like you see less of. And I've actually got 2 bonus treats here. One, Nick DiPasquale, the stand-up comedian I mentioned, he actually has a full
Buffalo.
Special.
I go outside of the airport, the whole side.
Very well produced.
That's gross. Muslims can't eat pork. That's the other.
How many like this is something he could sell on Netflix, and even says this in his show that I recommend. He says, I released a full special on YouTube for free. Why? Because I realized Netflix would never buy it because all the shit he says. So I recommend Breath of Fresh Air. It really is. Give it a shot if you're into a little more right wing comedy, and with a little left wing comedy to show that I'm not a complete right winger. Sam Morrill, good friend of Mark Norman's. I obviously recommend Mark Norman, but he is my special bonus guest. He also just February 10th of this year released a special in the same facet as Nick DiPasquale, but he is left wing. His reason for doing it isn't because he thinks that his material's too right wing. It's not. He's actually, I really like this special he did, but the thing is, he realized that the conventional gatekeepers of comedy aren't gonna be the most effective way anymore. He realized that releasing something for free for people to appreciate is the best way to get his name out there. And then he'll make his money off selling more shows. So this is a very good special. Samuel's quite good. Not as good as Mark. I recommend more time with Mark. But yeah, enjoy those 2 morsels. I'll make sure I have the links in the description when I upload this. So have a good one. Peace.